Well, our SABC News senior reporter Chriselda Lewis is on the scene there where that VW Polo is being lifted out of the water. Police have now confirmed that it is indeed the Polo in which the 3 police officers were travelling in when they met their fateful end. Some items have been retrieved and taken out of the car, including some very personal items, which makes us all the more emotional, including a white handbag and the contents thereof, and then also a service book of the car. So all of that being pulled up out of the water now. Earlier we said that police would have to confirm that this is indeed the car. They have done that now, and that they've managed to do by checking the chassis number as well as the VIN number, confirming that that is the car of the constables who were travelling from Bloemfontein, from the Free State, to Limpopo, where they were deployed on some project. The bodies of those police officers were found earlier this week, 2 on Monday and then the 3rd on Tuesday, and their families travelled from the Free State to Pretoria to confirm the identity of their loved ones. They are now today holding prayers in Bloemfontein, in the Free State, and I'm sure this will give them some level of closure. I'm not sure if it will give them comfort. Certainly doesn't take away the pain, but some closure. And then the police can also start working out what actually happened on that fateful night. We also don't know exactly when it happened, but police suspect it happened late on Saturday night or in the early morning, early hours of Sunday morning. All of that would need to be worked out precisely using the evidence that they have to confirm what happened on that fateful day. Another car also found in the vicinity on Tuesday, and that was of a Renault Kangoo belonging to a police groundsman who worked at the Littleton police station. They don't believe that the 2 incidents are related though. And then a 5th body was found, also unrelated to these 3 police officers, that of a civilian, and police believe that that body was in a state of, I wouldn't say advanced decomposition, but certainly more than a couple of days, possibly 2 weeks. But they haven't confirmed the identity of that person yet, and certainly not tying it to this of the 3 police officers and that vehicle. Now this has been going on since this morning around 7 o'clock, where search and rescue operations had been looking for this vehicle. They found it this morning, and it's taken all this time to get that car out of the water. Such a specialized group of people working on this, a big tow truck that has winches bringing that car up, and you can see those cables, those chains attached to the vehicle, and earlier on some winch cables that would have been attached to the vehicle. And the reason why they attach more than one is to distribute the weight of the vehicle, and also so that the car doesn't, the winch cables break. So that's one of the things that they do to be able to bring that car up without breaking the cables. But certainly giving some closure to the terrible, terrible story of the disappearance of those 3 police officers. They disappeared last Wednesday when they were en route to Limpopo, believed to be en route. And the next incident, as we know at this time or suspect, was that something happened on the night of Saturday, that was this past Saturday, or in the early hours of Sunday morning. That communicated to us by the Police Commissioner, Fanny Masimola, earlier on during the week. But the police spokesperson, Atlinda Mate, on the scene there today, and as she has been earlier this week as well, very emotional, losing her colleagues, and I'm sure very emotional today, but a sense of, I would say, closure at this point. Still lots to go in terms of the investigation. But someone who knows more than I do on this is our senior news reporter, Chriselda Lewis, who is on the scene. We cross live to her right now. Chriselda, that vehicle finally being brought out of the Hennops River.
All right, these are live pictures. As you've been seeing on our screen, we continue to be live from the scene of this wreckage. Police having confirmed that this is the VW Polo that the three police officers were traveling in, confirming that this confirmation was done via the chassis number. The chassis number which was confirmed that indeed it is of this vehicle that the officers had been traveling in. It's been hours of searching. I mean, just take a look at that wreckage. Police also managed to get some items, to retrieve some items from the wreckage, including a white handbag. It was a green towel, as well as a service book. Those are just some amongst some of the items that were retrieved. This car absolutely damaged, and you can tell that the vehicle itself, due to some of the marks on it, has been submerged in this water for hours and hours and hours, due to the fact that the understanding is that it had rammed off this embankment and gone into the Hennops River, and police had been searching for it. Remember, throughout our reportage, we have been saying it has been a main bone of contention, and many questions had been asked about where this vehicle was. Now, this is certainly the success and the hope that many had, had been clinging onto, that this vehicle would be found, and the investigations that need to be conducted will be conducted as a result of wanting to piece together the puzzle of what has been a very tragic incident here, in that this vehicle now, this of course heavy-duty tow truck, is the one that assisted quite extensively in the retrieval of this wreckage. You'd remember that a second cable had also been sent down in order to intensify the strength of pulling this wreckage from the Hennops River. But this is certainly going to be a sigh of relief, painfully so, though, for the families of these three police officers, at least by the time that they bury their loved ones. A crucial part of what will form part of the police's investigation is this car, into looking into what could have possibly happened to it a few moments ago, and that's already been removed from the scene. Some of the items that were retrieved from here, if you take a look, one side of this vehicle is completely off. Both doors are off, and I must apologize to our viewers for perhaps a graphic description of what I'm detailing at the moment. I must apologize for that, but perhaps for those who are joining us on our radio stations as well, I would perhaps give a description of what we are seeing at the moment. It's completely damaged. The boot itself is also completely off. Now remember, part of the information that we ascertained was that there had been a firearm which had been inside the boot of this vehicle. So what all of this means now for this investigation, we certainly cannot tell. I mean, it is absolutely destroyed at this particular stage, and in part, as you would know, due to the amount of time it is going to be put on this truck. at the moment, and this is the truck, of course, that it's going to take it to an area of safekeeping, and of course that's where the investigations are going to be done. You can also see that some of the forensic teams are also. Yes, the forensic teams are on site already. The National Police Commissioner has also is also expected to be here in just about a moment, together with the Deputy Minister of Police, Polly Boshielo. And this is certainly going to be a sigh of relief, as this police truck is now going to load this vehicle and take it for, of course, investigations. Investigations, of course, are going to continue, because at the crux of this particular matter is what exactly happened, what led to the demise of these police officers, what led to the deaths of these police officers. Was it an issue of culpable homicide? Would police at a later stage be investigating anything else pertaining to this particular tragedy is certainly something that we'll also hear from the National Police Commissioner, General Fani Masimula. He would, of course, be able to give us a detailed update on what is going to happen next. But obviously, an investigation of this nature now would entail looking into this vehicle. You can see the devastation, you can see the extent to which it has been destroyed, and in part, part of the erosion of it, as you would see on the bonnet as well, relates to the amount of time that it had also spent inside the Hennops River here. Remember, the wheel that we saw, there's only, one wheel that I'm seeing that is still attached to the vehicle at this point. It is that wheel that we initially saw when the wreckage was being pulled from inside the river. And these officers really struggled for several hours to ensure that they do pull this wreckage to the surface. And at this stage, you would see this particular tow truck is the one that has been quite instrumental in assisting with the strength to get this wreckage out. It is now being loaded onto this police tow truck. It's going to be taken to the police garage, where investigations are going to be conducted, and perhaps that might be able to give us a sense of maybe what happened in this tragedy. This is something that the families are hoping. They're hoping that the piece of this puzzle, the discovery, the retrieval of this vehicle, is the vehicle that is going to piece together perhaps what could have happened, what else are they going to find in this vehicle. But I would only imagine at this point, given the fact that investigators had retrieved some of the personal belongings, or some belongings from this vehicle, would indicate to us, that perhaps they've retrieved what they could see. And this included a white handbag, as well as a service book, just amongst some of the items that were retrieved from here as well. Do stay with us. We're live at the Hennops River, and this is in Centurion, where police have confirmed that this is indeed the VW Polo that the 3 police officers were traveling in. A devastating discovery, I guess, bringing a lot of hope, to the families, that perhaps, as I indicated, investigations now on this crucial piece of the puzzle, would lead them to answers about what really happened. But, tragically so, a piece of the puzzle which is also quite tragic, but a great relief, because I think this had been much of a headache for the rescuers as well as the police to find this crucial part of this particular event. So breaking news here on SABC News is that police have indeed confirmed that this is the VW Polo that the 3 police officers were traveling in. It is now going to be taken away from the scene. It is, of course, a very crucial part of the evidence. It's a very crucial part of investigations, and a part that police would want to look into very closely. We will ask the National Police Commissioner. He's on his way at the moment, as I indicated with the Deputy Police Minister. They're pulling some parts, and I think that's the exhaust. Is it not the exhaust? Yeah, it is the exhaust. The exhaust.
Yeah.
All right, that is the exhaust that is being pulled, just to try and assist with getting the vehicle placed on the police tow truck. Right, we're just trying to get some of those gentlemen. The forensics team is also on scene at this particular point, and of course we'll wait for the National Police Commissioner so the prayers of these families have been answered. And on SABC News, we have been crossing to Bloemfontein, where there had been a prayer service. I've referred to it quite a number of times. Our colleagues there are obviously speaking to the families about, this tragedy, this confirmation now that indeed this is the vehicle that their loved ones were traveling in. It will now be taken to the police garage. That's where investigations will take place. And all right, this vehicle will be taken to the police garage, and that's where investigations, of course, will get underway. A crucial piece of the puzzle, as I indicated, and the assistance that they're getting, they are very difficult to remove it from this heavy tow truck. Very difficult to remove it from there, and you've got some of these police divers who've been working tirelessly, that were in the water using the very same manpower, now pulling the vehicle, and it looks like it's going to be quite a success now to do that. They've turned it to make sure that it does fit on the back of this police truck so that it can be taken for further investigation. So we continue with breaking news live here on the SABC News channel. We'll wait for the National Police Commissioner, General Fani Masimula, as well as the Deputy Police Minister, Poli Bushielo, who are going to make their way. Hands clapping. Let's take a listen. All right, a round of applause for the success of getting this wreckage out of the Hennops River. And the handbag that I made reference to a bit earlier on, the white handbag, we understand belongs to Constable Sinoche. That's her handbag, and her driver's license and her ID card were also found inside that handbag. That's also now part of the confirmation that police had told us about, the chassis number, which had been the chassis number that had been compared to the vehicle, which had been confirmed, the positive identification of that, and of course now the white handbag that we showed you, part of the evidence, of course, the handbook that we also showed you, the service book that we also showed you. Inside that handbag, the white handbag, we understand belongs to Constable Sinoche, and inside her ID, was found inside the ID, as well as a driver's license. All right, so that's just some of the information that we are establishing at this particular point. So the vehicle is just being strapped at this particular point. It's being strapped to this police tow truck. And this is the tow truck, of course. There's a crucial part of evidence. It would need to leave the scene as soon as they are done with it. But perhaps, well, I'm not quite sure at this stage if perhaps the National Police Commissioner, together with the Deputy Minister of Police, would want to have a glimpse at this. But I think most importantly, to secure such a crucial part of the evidence is to have it moved from where it's been taken from, so that investigations can certainly get underway. This is the team of experts that have been working around the clock to ensure that this vehicle is found in the next couple of days. And I think this particular discovery, very important for the families in light of the fact that given that there's been a positive identification of the bodies of their loved ones, they would be able to bury their loved ones with a crucial part of the evidence having now been found. So I think it's going to be a great relief for these families. All right, they're just removing or trying to perhaps investigate what else is inside that vehicle just before they let it go. Just have a look there. The rescue team going through the vehicle to check if there isn't anything that they might have missed in terms of personal belongings or anything else that might have been inside the vehicle. So that is the process that is unfolding at this stage, and very carefully so, of course, because anything that may be found, anything that that may be found inside this vehicle, well, closing it once again. And you see part of the forensic teams are also on site already, and investigations, of course, of a crucial nature are expected to commence very shortly. And I think police would want to establish as much as they can from this wreckage to try and get answers about what might have transpired here. So given the fact that they've now closed the door which they had opened, that wreckage is absolute devastation. And I think the families who have after they had come to the crime, to the scene itself, had gone back to their homes, and subsequent to that, they'll be watching from their homes right now. They'd be watching from their homes this discovery, and unfortunately the official confirmation, and one would expect that the police would have informed the families before breaking the news to the country about the fact that this is indeed that polo that they've been asking questions about. This is indeed the polo that they've been wanting the whereabouts of. Now the families will be focusing on the preparations, of course, for the funerals. The families have met this morning, I understand, and will be meeting the Premier of the Free State and the national police officials to agree on a memorial and a funeral as well. I think we can talk about that now, precisely because what was a crucial part here was the discovery of this particular vehicle, and the families did indicate they will be holding these kinds of talks. I'm sure we will get details at a much later stage about when this is likely to happen, when a memorial or a funeral is expected to take place. But the focus, of course, now is on the preparations for this final send-off for these family members. All right, a final seal-off, as we can see from these rescuers. They were part of the team who had been inside the Hennops River for a couple of hours, and they are certainly going to ensure that anything that they may find in there has been removed before this vehicle is taken away for further investigations. I would believe perhaps to a police garage where it would be secured, and those investigations would be able to be concluded at this particular stage. But police, of course, having confirmed that this is the vehicle that was being used by those police officers. Just take a look at this rescue team. I mean, it's been a collaborative effort, as we heard from police, a collaborative effort of a number of institutions that have come together to ensure that there would be success in this find, or success in the search itself. Because until earlier on today, we certainly did not expect or at least when police had given us an indication that they had found some of the heavy metal, they would have given us an indication that that heavy metal would have been an indication that the heavy metal itself, would have been this vehicle. Remember, from the first point at which we had gone to, we were without any success, but we certainly did move. We did move to a second location, and that second location now, of course, being that this vehicle is the one that is being put on this police tow truck, and you can see the back of this vehicle absolutely in shatters, in ruins at the back. And this is a painful sight for these families, a painful sight that they have to watch this unfold. But unfortunately, I think at this stage, many South Africans were invested to also concerned about the whereabouts, who'd been concerned about the whereabouts of the police officers, with their bodies having been found, and now the discovery of this vehicle. Just on one side, as you can see, both doors are still intact on the side that I'm showing you now, but on the other side, it is completely devastated and in ruins. We'll just try to move towards another direction, just to give you a full view of the wreckage. We'll just go to the front now. Where you would see the front of this vehicle, the mechanics of it right in the front are completely damaged. All right, we're also expecting much of the cleanup. You could also see there a cleanup here on the N1, a cleanup, of course, of part of where those some of that evidence had been put. And this is the news that many were hoping for, and an official confirmation of the vehicle itself, that the vehicle would eventually be found. I do presume that, all right, it's going to just reverse. We're going to try and just move back just a little bit, but the vehicle, the VW Polo has been strapped to. The VW Polo has been strapped to this tow truck. I think they're just going to park it here just a little bit. We do understand that the National Police Commissioner, as well as Pauli Bushielo, who is the Deputy Minister of Police, are making their way here. They were also, a crucial part of supporting the families when they still didn't have a clue about where their loved ones were. And even at the discovery or the positive identification of the bodies of their loved ones at the mortuaries, the families had been supported. This is the wreckage. It's absolute devastation. This vehicle almost, and I must apologize for the graphic visuals that we are showing you, but police confirming, of course, that this is the vehicle that the police officers had been traveling in. And for much of the day, these divers having used the heavy machinery, and the divers having to use more than one of those ropes, the metal ropes, to strap to the vehicle. It needed quite a lot of manpower as well. Quite a lot of manpower to ensure that there was success. There was quite a lot of success. We're just going to move to the other side. We're being told right now that we need to move towards here. And I guess we're going to wait for an official briefing from the National Police Commissioner, as well as the Deputy Minister of Police. We're all being told to come towards this direction now. This gives you this. After several hours spending in the Hennops, these are the men who have performed this very heavy task. And they are the ones with the police divers who managed to pull that wreckage from the Hennops. There's been quite a number of rounds of applause for the job that they've done, and I think the National Police Commissioner will echo the same sentiments together with the Deputy Minister of Police, Poli Bushielo. They are on their way to the scene at this particular time. All right, we're going to move. All right, we're also going to ask my colleague Kwazi Manzi to come towards this direction.
All right, can you all come together, please? Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's important that after the trauma, the challenge which we went through, we hold a special prayer for this place, for the good work done by the team and the success of recovering even the vehicle. It's very, very important. It will take 2-3 minutes. Our head of chaplain services in the police, Brigadier Shobet Nkosi, will lead us. It's important, colleagues, in honor of our colleagues and in honor of those, all of us, all of you who did this extreme, excellent work, which is highly appreciated. Brigadier, over to you.
General, thank you so much. Let me greet the senior managers here, our partners, and everyone on the scene, and thanking you all guys for the opportunity. I want us to pray, as the General already mentioned, that why are we doing this? There is this verse from the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 10. U-A Wakona says, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. I want to end there. The outcomes of this sin since last week, it's because each and every one of us has done all what was supposed to be done in this place. We really want to congratulate you guys. This thing was giving everyone sleepless nights. I like to believe that today we are going to rest in a way, as much as we know that the work is still continuing. But this evidence, I think it's what we wanted to see. This is the situation that was initiated by the circumstances for us, but thank you for everyone. That this verse, when it calls that whatsoever your hand findeth to do, do it with your whole might. The skills, the resources, your time, your energy, your everything that you have been put here for this outcome. Come, let us pray. Father, we thank you. We give you all the glory. We give you all the honor. Thank you that you promised that you will never leave us nor forsake us. We have seen and felt that your hand has been with us. It wasn't easy, but thank you for the courage that you gave each and every person for them to get to where we are now. We give you the glory, oh God. We give you the honor. We just want to pray once more for the members that worked with our departed colleagues, for their souls, for their families, for everyone that find himself involved on this. We pray that you keep on comforting them as we pray for the proper closure for whatsoever that happened the day this thing happened. We give you the glory and the praise of God. We pray for our teams that are still going to continue with the work in this place, that you continue to guide them, protect them, oh God. In the mighty name of Jesus we pray. Take your glory and help each and everyone for us, my God, to be of service to our country and for our people. We ask and thank all this in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for teamwork. Thanks very much for team spirit. Let's continue to work as a team. It was across all spheres, from the community, from the councillors here, from private companies and security and business, and all, including the municipality and the media, of course. We really appreciate. Thank you very much. Oh, the National Commissioner has arrived. He'll join us in a few minutes.
Well, that was the Gauteng Deputy Police Commissioner. That's, of course, General Fred Gekana. We're expecting in the next few moments, stay with our visuals, we're expecting in the next few seconds the National Police Commissioner to arrive to address us here, and certainly he's going to find this as a great relief. We're going to find this as a great relief. Let's see if we can move towards this direction with my colleague Kwazimanzi. And we do understand that the National Police Commissioner has arrived. He's expected to be accompanied. He's expected to be accompanied by the Deputy Minister of Police. And let's see if we can't move towards that direction. I think that's where they are. I think they are going to bring the National Commission. The National Police Commissioner we're expecting in just about a moment. And this is, of course, the wreckage that police have been searching for a very long time. So let's go to the National Police Commissioner. All right, the National Police Commissioner, we do understand the media is being taken to where he is at this particular point, and it's expected that he's going to make his way here any minute now. I'm just trying to locate exactly where he is. And indeed, the National Police Commissioner, as you can see, has arrived. He's expected to address the nation, the media, the families in just about a moment. And I'm sure he has been briefed about what the latest developments have been. This is certainly a huge relief, for the families, for the South African Police Service, as well as the nation, who've been asking a lot of questions about what exactly would have happened. We're getting a brief at the moment. The National Police Commissioner, General Fani Masimula, getting a brief from the Deputy National, Deputy Gauteng Police Commissioner, who just a few moments ago, held a prayer for the site, held a prayer for the families, and also thanked those who had been working tirelessly to ensure that there is a positive outcome in this particular case. We're going to try and see if we can bring in, not just yet, I'm told by the spokesperson, we're told that he will be, once he is done with that brief, he is going to address the media on exactly what the way forward, of course, now will be. He's expected, of course, to reconfirm what we now already know, is that that a white polo is the polo that belongs to, or was the polo that those police officers had been traveling in. We're just going to speak to the National Police Commissioner in a few moments, and we're just waiting for him to finish with the brief that he is getting from the team of investigators, also the team that had been working alongside the rescue team, and perhaps he will be, as the wreckage still remains here, is expected to be taken to an area where investigations will get underway. Much of the focus now, of course, for the families is going to be, given that this huge discovery has been made, it is obviously going to be the funeral arrangements, and the expectation is that the families, as we indicated, will be meeting with the Premier of the Free State. And in addition to that, the families themselves have met in order to chart a way forward in terms of a final send-off for their loved ones. So I think it looks like the National Police Commissioner will address us very shortly. And this is part of the team that were also quizzed by members of the families, about where exactly this car was. If you look at the damage just towards that area, it's believed that's exactly where the vehicle had rammed off this particular highway and then landed in the Hennops, having been found only this afternoon, having been confirmed only this afternoon. And we'll ask the National Police Commissioner as well whether at this particular point there is any chance of the scope of their investigation changing at this particular point. But it doesn't seem as though. A little bit earlier on, when we did speak to the police, they did indicate that culpable homicide is still what they're investigating at this particular time. But of course, what's going to be crucial with this latest discovery, investigations that will emanate from there will also then give police an idea of which way their investigations should be going. And parts of what was crucial with the chassis number being confirmed to be that of the Polo that the police officers had been traveling in, was not just the chassis number, it was the handbag that was identified to be that of Constable Senoge. And inside that handbag, her driver's license as well as her ID were also found in that handbag, which is further confirmation that indeed this is the vehicle that those police officers were traveling in. There was also a service book, from what we understand, that was also put on the tar just before it was sealed, of course, into those evidence bags. And that was a crucial part of the identification process as well, in addition to the technical aspects that we spoke about, where police said they would want to ensure that the vehicle that, or the wreckage that was being pulled from here, that wreckage was indeed the wreckage, that was the vehicle belonging to those police officers. All right, we're still waiting for the National Police Commissioner to brief us on what the latest is, and we're hoping that's going to happen in just about a few moments. The forensics still remain, of course, on location, and there are still many questions that the families will be asking themselves about exactly what happened here. All right, we're hoping that this briefing will take place in just about a moment, and we know that once the vehicle moves from here, it's going to be taken to safekeeping, so that an investigation, without any interference is done, an investigation so that a thorough investigation is done without any interference in terms of what police may also find as they comb through, if I may, that vehicle. And I think those are some of the aspects that the National Police Commissioner, okay, we're going to follow the National Police Commissioner now. I think they're going to take him to go and have a look at the wreckage first, and after that we do understand he will be addressing the media. After that he will be addressing the media. The Gauteng Deputy Commissioner of Police is the one who's walking him through how the process itself had unfolded, how the wreckage had been removed, from the Hennops River. We're just trying to make our way through here as the National Police Commissioner has an additional look at this side of the wreckage and exactly how damaged this vehicle is. You could certainly tell what transpired here was indeed very terrible. Let's take a listen to what some of that brief is.
Yeah.
All right.
That the car have sort of capsized before it reaches the point of impact, and then it hit with the bonnet, with the wheels facing up. You can see from the bottom.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's basically that.
All right, I'm sure we can. All right, not just at this stage, we understand. We'll ask Brigadier Ethelinda Mate, of course, to start for us as the National Police Commissioner is going to address us at this time. All right, also arriving now is the Deputy Minister of Police, Polly Bushielo, who's also been supporting the families alongside the National Police Commissioner. And on the evening as well, when the families had visited the scene, she was also present. Perhaps let's go to the National Police Commissioner, General Fani Masimula. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. General, must be quite a relief confirmation now, but devastating as it may be, a relief that the VW Polo has been found.
Yeah, indeed, Chriselda, what a painful relief, however, but at least we are quite happy that after hard work, we can indeed say the car has been recovered, and actually not far from where we suspected the car went through. So it has been recovered by the team. I was told the team said this morning they realized the water level was quite high. Up somewhere downstream, the river was blocked by debris, which they unblocked, and the water started flowing. The river subsided a bit, and with the search, they found the car here. You'd recall yesterday they found parts of the car, which were the bumpers, and now they found the car. We think at least there is relief and closure that at least the car has been found. I'm sure every one of you can see the condition of the car. We are going to undertake an investigation of the car so that we can come to a conclusion as to what exactly happened. But from I think the look of eyes, when you can see that the car looks like it capsized first before it impacted on the wall, including the barrier on the side, and then eventually went into the water. So we unfortunately have this very, very bad closure. But some of the things that I would want to clarify is that because it looks like people believe that all the 5 bodies that we found them here, which is not the case. Remember, our colleagues left the 23rd from Bloemfontein in the evening around 2200 hours, and the car was lost here, the signal and the phones around on the Thursday morning, somewhere after 2 o'clock. That's when the signal died at this very specific place where we are. That was Thursday. And then on Saturday, while the search team were going through the river, on Saturday, downstream, the same river, but next to N14, that is Ben Schoeman Highway, that's where then they found a car, a Renault, in the river. It was Monday. Yeah, Monday. They found the Renault in the river, and this Renault belonged to one of our gardener who works at Littleton. If I can orientate you so that everybody can understand that the Renault was not found here. This is the Ben Schoeman Highway. This is the same river, Hennops River. It goes under the highway. So there is another bridge there, if those that can see. So our gardener's car fell right here where you see sort of a dam in the river. Here is a circle. Straight from the circle, he fell in there with the car, and that's where his car was found Monday afternoon. He doesn't stay very far from this place. There is a police barracks here, those that know the place. He stays in this barracks here. Hence, the wife, when he checked on the tracker, he saw that the car is 1 kilometer away from home, but the guy did not arrive home. So you can see the distance from the barracks to this bridge is not very far. The wife said, the tracker said, the car is on the circle. And she did look, she saw no car on the circle. So he thought he parked it somewhere, he left with friends to go somewhere. So, and eventually he ended up not being recovered, but he was recovered, seen by the helicopter, and the car was taken out, and he was found to have passed away. So I must clarify that the Renault did not go in here where we are, but it is the same river, but next to Ben Schoeman Highway, those that knows the place. And the other body of a white male that was found, it was also not found here where we are. It was found on this very same river, but the other side, as you go, Macro is just opposite. The golf course is there. That's where he was found in the river also. So I just thought I must clarify that.
National Police Commissioner Chriselda Lewis from SABC Television News. Does this mean, given the fact that we now know from what you're telling us that the vehicle capsized before it then went through this embankment, are you still investigating a case of culpable homicide as a result of that? And of course, the families, after having been informed of this, because this was a crucial part of the questions that they asked when you came to the scene with them. They asked, where is the vehicle that our children were traveling in?
The vehicle, Chriselda, has been found now, as you see it. Investigation, we have got no rules to stick to whatever charge when you investigate. Forensics, they're going to go through the car look thoroughly on the car, and the fact that I'm saying it looks like it capsized first, remember, I'm not an expert, it's what I'm seeing, but they will be able to determine, because they are engineers, they are qualified people, they will thoroughly investigate the car. They'll be able to tell us exactly what happened to the car.
General Moloko Moloto here from ENCA. As much as you're still going to proceed with your investigations, what would be your response to those who might be skeptical and say, considering the fact that these are the police officers who possibly might have been investigating serious matters, and they still have conspiracy theories which they believe that this was not an ordinary accident?
Look, Moloto, I think we need to give the investigation a space. Let's not be prophets of everything. Let's allow the investigation to proceed. We know that through whatever means our investigators were brought to this place where we are as a result of the technology they used, meaning, yes, indeed, the car did drive to here. And you'd remember I did indicate that up the road at the Braakfontein interchange, there is a camera that showed us the car driving down. So at the end of the day, we can't rule out anything, but we can't conclusively say this is what has happened. Let's give let's give it space. And also remember, right at the beginning there at the Grasmere engine garage, you'd remember the gentleman who was driving the NP 200. We also investigated that, and we definitely can rule out that we are quite fair with what he told us. And his employer also told us his whereabouts, the routes, and we have got no doubt. And therefore, provisionally now, we do take his story that what he says that he drove with the car from Bloemfontein and they were overtaking each other along the road, and at some point he felt a bit uncomfortable, hence he wanted to see who are in the car. After he has seen that no, it's two ladies and a man, he was a bit much more comfortable and he left. So that is still part of our investigation. We haven't yet ruled totally that out. We're still going to go deeper because we want to know from there who did he talk to and what did he say. So that's part of the investigation. But at this stage, it looks like an accident until we finalize the forensics have done their thorough investigation on the car. So let the public be assured that this is what we have for now. Unfortunately, we can't control those prophets of doom that or that come with different conclusions. Unfortunately, we can't. So I just wanted to clarify that also to South Africans, that the bodies were all not found at the same place, not on the same day, and even the two cars, there is no 3 cars involved, it is only 2 cars. It is this Polo and the other one is a panel van, a Renault, and it was not found at this very same spot. It is the other spot, as I've indicated, but yes, it's the same river.
National Police
General, just a quick one, Audrey from Newsroom Africa. The scale of the operation that we've seen here in the past couple of days, particularly today, has really been one for the books. And South Africans have been wondering, with the capacity of your multidisciplinary team, can they see this kind of operation happening going forward should such a case arise with other people that could go missing?
Well, we will do same. Remember, South African Police Service do get reports sometimes. Some people reports, for example, last week I had a report where somebody let her child to go away and she came to police. We reunited the child with the parents. Remember here we don't say police are more important than the public. Everybody is important, but remember, as you all were saying, you were suspecting something else. Hence, we made sure that we find out what exactly is this. And now we culminate with what we have seen here today.
National Police Commissioner Chriselda Lewis from SABC Television News once again. Part of what we saw being retrieved from the vehicle was a handbag, what looked to be a service book, what also looked to be a cloth. Does this mean that the search is completely called off? Is there anything else that you're still looking for, that you still need to look for? Perhaps if we know if the police officers had been carrying firearms that might have been discarded in this river at the time, are you still looking for possible further items?
The families will check what we have found, and they will be able to advise and guide us what else is still missing, and we'll keep on looking into whatever the family says is missing from the car. We will keep looking into the car. For now, we really can't really say. The family must look first as to what did we find and reconcile with what they know their young ones had. Then but the search will still continue.
General, are you able to give us progress in regard to the autopsy?
It's part of the investigation, Mologo, and once it's finalized, we'll be able to advise you. But it's part of the investigation, and for now, there's nothing sinister that we physically that we have seen in terms of, let's say, shot bullets. No, nothing. But of course, there are injuries. But the doctors will tell us exactly when they finalize their autopsies.
Colleagues, before we hand over to the Premier who's just arrived, as well as the Deputy Minister, General, just to thank the teams involved in this particular operation.
Yeah, we once more want to thank all the teams that were involved, the SAPS teams. I won't count them by units because it was quite a number of units. Also the City of Tshwane, the provincial government and the law enforcement from the government, the helicopters, and also the private sector. The private sector did play a very critical role. A number of private security industries that partake. I also want to mention one by one because it was quite a number of private security companies that were involved. So we thank the teams for the hard work, and at least we say now we can be relieved. We know we have recovered almost everything that is outstanding. Thank you very much.
I'll now hand over to the Premier of the province, Mr. Panyaza Lesufi, who has just joined us, and thereafter we will then give an opportunity to our Deputy Minister.
Well, thanks so much. Let me start by acknowledging the Deputy Minister as well as the National Commissioner. Well, mixed emotions, to be quite frank. Mixed emotions on the basis that what we've been looking for has been found, and on the other side, it's a sad chapter that we need to continue to extend our sincere condolences to the families, as well as the government of the Free State and national government. Obviously, we are grateful to those that have utilized their skills and talent to go down there to retrieve the car and also to retrieve the bodies. We remain indebted to them, not only for their hard work and the utilization of the skills, but also for assisting families to arrive at this set decision. But we also want to appreciate those that have already released their resources as per the agreement that we had with all local authorities and the law enforcement agencies. We said there must be no boundary that prohibits us to assist each other. This case actually is a point in case. We've got all municipalities that render their services. We've got all law enforcement agencies that have rendered their services. We also have the private sector that have rendered their services. And we are grateful as the provincial government, with the limited resources that we had, we managed to give a helping hand. And to the families, we are with them. Their pain is no longer our pain. Actually, it's seated in our hearts, and we are going to walk this path with them. And we remain hopeful that the police will conclude whatever that is outstanding. But National Commissioner, we have to thank you and the Minister and the Deputy Minister. As soon as this matter was brought to our attention, you literally left no stone unturned. Within the limited hours that we had, you really dispatched a team of people that took their responsibilities seriously. And for that we are grateful, and we remain indebted to you as well, and everyone that has been working on this particular case. We want to thank them from the bottom of our heart, and the Deputy Minister. Let me hand over to you, Deputy Minister.
Thank you very much. As you have been with us since we were here, you were here when you saw the family breaking apart after identifying their bodies, the sons and daughters, and you were with us here. And as we showed them where the accident happened, you saw them breaking down. Some of us also broke down with them because we are mothers also, but also they are our colleagues. And when they said they found the car, it was also like a closure for us. Me and myself and the Premier now just came back from the Workers' Day rally in Sharpeville, where the Pop Crew comrades who were working with them were still, saying that they wish they get the cars. And like the Premier said, it's a mixed feeling. I can't say I'm happy, I can't say I'm sad, but there's something at least that we can go forward. But also, let me take this opportunity to thank the National Commissioner of Police. I know we always blame, and when things are done, we don't say them. Maybe we say them when they're dead. The National Commissioner, after hearing this, he was leading the team himself, and you saw him going up and down, being with us, being with the family, even arranging the SAPS jet to go and pick up the family and take them back. So we'd like to thank you, Tau, for the guidance that you have given our team. But also, as we were asking, yes, in the SAPS we have the teams with their expertise, where they are able to do, they are doing them. What we can do as the media, maybe we might want to support them and not necessarily be hard on them. They were in this water. We saw them here getting parts, part by part. And, sometimes you can just be proud of being able to work with colleagues like that. That's why we're asking more money, to say we need more skills so that we are able to serve our country very well. So we'd like to thank you again, and also thank the team. We thanked them that night when you were with us. You saw them from all sectors, and we still want to thank them now. Moving forward, we're going to work with the families to make sure that their buried ones, their loved ones are buried in a dignified police manner, because we have a way of also bearing our own. Remember, they serve you, and every other thing. At the end, they are human beings, and then they also have relatives, friends, and everybody. So we are going to be part of the preparations of making sure that they are laid well. And to their families, we're still with you, and then we're still with you even after. This is a sad day for this SAPS, and I would like to thank you.
All right, thank you so much, colleagues. That was the Premier of this province, the Deputy Minister of Police, as well as the National Commissioner. I think this brings us to the end of our briefing. Thank you so much, colleagues, for the support. You guys have been with us from day one up until now. Thank you so much for allowing us to tell our story and to share, every bit of information that we got along the way. Thank you so much.
All right, that brings to an end a briefing by the Deputy Minister of Police, Polly Boshielo, as well as the Gauteng Premier, Panyaza Lesufi, as well as the National Police Commissioner, sadly confirming a bit earlier on, of course, that the vehicle behind me is the vehicle that these police officers had been traveling in, but the latest details that we're now getting is that they believe that the vehicle had capsized before it then had burst through this embankment next to me and had gone into the water. What the National Police Commissioner is saying at this particular point is that they're still investigating, a case of culpable homicide, but they won't rule anything out in the event that there is more evidence that comes to light. But at this particular point, the evidence at their disposal is that this vehicle right here behind me had capsized, and that was before it then flung into this embankment on the N1 and down into the Hennops River. Also hearing from the Deputy Minister of Police there that they will be providing assistance to the families as well, providing assistance to the families to ensure that their loved ones do get a dignified burial and are buried the police way. So at least now, as the families are arranging for the funerals, we're hearing from the Deputy Minister of Police that they will be providing support to the families, and we know that the families have been meeting. They were approaching the Free State government to try and get some assistance relating to that. And certainly the Gauteng Premier, also part of the delegation that was also here, thanking those who worked tirelessly to ensure that this discovery was made. This is quite a crucial part of the evidence that police had been waiting for. And of course now investigations do continue. I did ask the National Police Commissioner if they will stop the search. They say that that will be dictated by whether the families will indicate if there's anything else that is still missing from the vehicles. You would know that a purse was found, a driver's license as well as an ID was also found. But if the families do indicate that there's anything else that is still missing, they would continue the search. Let me just go towards this direction. In fact, I think I'm going to wrap it and hand it over to the studio for now.